Welcome back, everyone. This is Super Kelly Brothers Podcast, episode 159 for the 10th of April, 2022. My name's Sloan Kelly.
My name's Jody Kelly.
My name is James Baker, and I think there's a little American man living inside me.
Oh.
Is he?
No,
What's his
Moonlight,
name?
no.
All right. All right. I'll get it now. Okay,
Yeah,
it's very
get it
clever.
now.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's very
I think
clever.
there's a
Yeah.
little American man living inside me.
I think we've got a wee bit worried for James there for a second, didn't we?
I think he's called Mark.
Yeah. He's
Stephen.
a little American man.
My name's
Stephen.
Stephen. Why'd you keep calling me Mark?
Stephen
I've
with a V.
been thinking about that all day, and you guys were like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
That's terrible, isn't it? We never get that reference.
Never got it. Straight in. Didn't even get the reference.
oh, well.
Hello, Andy. How you
Hola.
Hola.
doing? Hola, amigos.
I'm hoping Andrew is on holiday in Spain watching this. That'd be fun, wouldn't it?
That would be good. He's drinking a couple of Corona.
Tequila.
Tequila. Oh, tequiza. There was a Budweiser you could get, and it was called tequiza, I think. And it was basically Budweiser with tequila inside it. It was disgusting.
That sounds dangerous.
Just for your reference, it was about 20 years ago. I think it was out.
I don't like tequila actually.
Did not go down well with anyone. So we're gonna. So there's a couple of things we want to get through first. We'll talk about certain things that have happened over the week, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Moon Knight, which is what James was talking about, and Jody and I were like, "What is it? I've got a little American man."
Yeah,
it's terrible, isn't it?
So without further ado. So Will Smith has been slapped with a 10-year ban.
Yes.
Sorry, I've been waiting all week
Amen.
for that joke. He's been banned.
From the Oscars?
Yeah.
Not from Starbucks or something
Not
like
from
that.
Starbucks, no.
I don't think he would have been back for 10 years anyway.
Probably not, to be fair.
Not. Well, the thing is, if you've won your part of the Academy now, and so you get invited back to all the like that's why Bradley Cooper was there this year.
Yeah. It wasn't for Rocket Raccoon.
It wasn't for Rocket Raccoon or his character in the Hangover series of movies.
Oh, funny that.
Strange. That's why he filmed, wasn't there?
Yeah, but he's also resigned from the board, the Oscars board, hasn't he?
Whatever
it is, whatever.
The over body, whatever it is.
Are all actors involved in that, the Oscars board thing, or is that just?
Don't know.
I don't think
I'm
so.
not sure.
No,
I think it's
I
just
think you're
few.
a select panel.
Yeah.
And they had to try and make it more diverse over the last 2 or 3 years.
So they probably asked them in. Get Will Smith.
Now they've asked him to leave.
They've asked him to leave.
Which is fair enough.
That was a quick turnaround. It's like a revolving door. I'm in, I'm out.
He's like, thanks very much. High five someone, missed them, hit them square in the face. And he's out.
I see ya.
Don't let the door knock you back in the face when you leave.
Don't let the door hit you in the backside on the way out.
Honestly, I was saying to Faith and Heidi today, right? I can't stop thinking about the slap. Is this 3 weeks on? I think about it
I know.
20 times a day.
It's all we've talked about in this podcast for the last 3 weeks.
I've forgotten the whole Ukraine thing, and that's
honestly
awful.
It is the only thing. So we started off for 2 years we had coronavirus, and that was all we ever talked about. Then the war in Ukraine, which by the way is still going on. In case people don't realize that.
Terribly.
And now the only people can talk about is Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
I know. I mean, I honestly think if Putin pushes the button, right, and I'm like 10 seconds from death, because he's going to try and hit, he's going to try and hit Scotland somewhere.
And he will be because he's going to hit Vaseline.
I can't believe Will Smith done that. Some of our last thoughts will be.
In mid-conversation, I still can't get over.
Cowering under the kitchen table. I can't even believe you hit him.
Did you see Chris Rock talking about it, actually?
I did. I love him, man. I love him.
He says, I've just got my hearing back.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
And then he said, I'll only talk about it once I get paid. I start getting paid for it.
Amen.
You know, so
Wow.
I'll pay him for that.
But did you also hear that? You know, the guy that had the affair with Jada Pinkett Smith, is writing a book.
Is he?
Is he? I'm going to get that book.
So
You better write it quick.
I know. That'll be on your Christmas list, everybody.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. What were we talking about again?
That'll be
We're
hard
still
to
talking
think
about Will
I can't
Smith.
fit.
Right,
Cool.
that's fine.
Sorry, speaking of gifts, it was Faith's 16th birthday.
Yes.
And do you know what she got?
Happy birthday, Faith.
We turned the heating on for her.
Oh, bless.
For her birthday.
Fantastic. It's cold in here. I'll turn the heating on for
I'll
you.
turn it. Is it your birthday? Aye, it is actually.
I'll let you lose. I'll let you charge your phone.
Is that why you're wearing a Hawaiian shirt?
That's why. But I've got a multi-layered. I've got a few layers on underneath it.
Okay. I should wear my Hawaiian shirt now.
Aye, there you go. Maybe get a Boba Fett one.
Do you know, I was watching Tecmo and he's got one of my Hawaiian shirts. He was wearing it in a video the other day there. I was like, what?
Really? Actually, one of yours?
Yeah. I mean, obviously not the one I've got. But,
not from your wardrobe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need to steal it from my wardrobe now.
Aye. Anyway, where were we? Yeah, he's been banned for 10 years.
Yeah.
But like you say, James, you know, judging by apart from King Richard, you know, he's not exactly been pumping out the hits,
the Oscar hits
lately. So
I mean, it's only my guess is he's going to end up having to do Men in Black 4.
Yeah, and he's also had a few movies dropped, like Netflix movies and things like that dropped. So
if people actually dropped him because they would stall the projects, but I didn't realise it actually been dropped.
Well, I'm saying dropped. I stalled. You're right, James. Actually, aye. That's more accurate. Stalled.
There's no mention of it on this page. Some people have obviously the other side of this is some people are not happy that Will Smith has been let go from the Oscars.
Of course, there's a lot of big Will Smith fans out there, us included. By the way,
it's understandable that, it doesn't matter who you are or what your stature is or whatever it is. You cannot in public walk up to someone who is defenseless in that he had his hands behind his back and slap them.
Do you know the only person? Do you know the only people that can, or the only people that can do that?
Who's that?
SEALs.
That's funny. Sorry, that was
I've seen them at the old Blair Drummond Safari.
Have you? They do the old slap.
Pretty funny when they slap the humans into the pool and all that. They could do a whole skit about that. Here comes Will Smith, and it's a SEAL coming up to the guy. Oh, guy in a Chris Rock
t-shirt.
Slap him in the pool. I'm telling you, double the price of the tickets. I'd go.
So what's next for Will Smith then? Is it Will
a lot of sitting on his sofa watching Netflix?
I absolutely adore him, but I've not forgiven him until I see his face saying sorry and doing something profound that I can actually see he's remorseful. Then I can't forgive him just yet, but I'm ready to forgive. I'm all about I'm sorry. All right, I forgive you and let's move on. But I can't move on until he is actually sorry.
So Sam played a video, and it was a bit from their Red Table. You know that Red Table podcast thing.
Aye.
And he was on talking about how he was going to throw Jada the best 40th birthday party ever, and he had all these plans about what he was going to do and all this kind of stuff.
Is this post slap?
No, this is pre slap.
So this is in his book.
PC.
Yeah.
PC.
PC. PS. No, PS. No, this is BS.
BS.
This is before slap.
BS.
Yeah, BS is before slap. PS is post slap.
Yeah.
For all y'all who want
biblical references.
Yeah, biblical references. Anyway.
BS.
So BS.
Yes.
So he threw this party and she turned around. She turned it on him and basically said, "This is just a shameless show of your ego at work."
I also saw a video.
No, thanks.
I also saw
but
a video.
It was no. But see if you listen to the book, it was actually all about. It was all about him and his and what he's done and what he's achieved. He does have Sundays free net.
That Andrew guy. I like him, but that's too far.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will Smith, no one watching.
I don't think you guys would have him on here now, would you?
I don't. I mean, as long as
Will Smith.
I mean, as long as it was remote.
I think that should be in the front cover of the Ayrshire Post next week.
Super
Kelly Brothers
adds
Will Smith.
We could put an olive branch out to him,
Could do, yeah.
Get him. Imagine we got him to come out on this podcast
and apologise directly to you.
Apologise directly to Chris Rock.
Right.
Huh. Wow, that's
get your Chris Rock on the podcast.
Get on it. Get on it right now.
We could be the arbiters.
Mm-hmm.
Could be the people that bring people together. That's what our job could be. It could be Lindsay Lohan and the entire viewing public. We could bring those two groups together.
Why that? How did you pick that?
I don't know. I saw something. It was an advert. And it was for Lindsay Lohan somewhere, and I went, "That's just funny." Remembering what she did.
Either Lindsay Lohan or Paul Blart.
Yes, two great references there.
Yep,
I think we're all grateful for that.
Paul
Blart Mall Cop, yeah.
That's
very physical.
That's Sloane's daughter's
favorite movie.
Sorry, favorite movie.
What's the guy? Is Kevin James?
Kevin James, yeah.
Honestly, I was lighting the fire the other night for Faith's 16th birthday, and
you threw a couple of Paul Blart Mall Cops.
You look like Kevin James. What?
Who does? Who likes him?
No, Faith said that you look like Kevin James.
Look like him?
I'm like, no. He's a big lad. I kind of.
Just as well as her 16th birthday.
I know. In my mind, I look like The Rock, obviously. Hawaiian shirt and all that.
That's right, yeah.
In my mind, I look like Johnny Depp.
Exactly when you do.
Yeah.
In my mind,
but in reality, I look like Russell Crowe post movies, post movie career.
Bloat Crowe.
And I don't look like Kevin James, so
I get mistaken for Russell Crowe once in a bar in Troon.
You did not.
I did. I did. The guy came up to me. He's like, they kept looking over and stuff, and then they kind of come up and the guy's like that. What's your name? Where are you from? Can I hang that you do look like Kevin James? Happy birthday, Faith, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Like 16. 16.
Said that publicly. And Sloan, you allowed that comment on.
I did. I allowed that. I didn't even bring down I didn't even slap down the banhammer.
I would say you don't, James. And I would say that for Faith's birthday, you should have got her some glasses.
Let me put it this way, James. You look about as much like Kevin James does as Jodie looks like Russell Crowe.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway. Wow. I think we talked more about everything else
around it.
Yeah, as usual.
Anyway, moving on. Sonic 2, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I love the headlines here. Booms. See, Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom.
See, Sonic Boom.
I see what they did there.
Let me just give them a...
Oh, what happened there to your dinger?
Was that a half-bell?
I purposefully went...
Have you had complaints again from the upstairs audience?
No. Oh. I've silenced them.
Right. Oh, all right. Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I think ambulance looks good.
But the ambulance stalls. Get it? Because it's an ambulance. It's a motor vehicle.
Oh, of course. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Could have been ambulance on life support. Might have been better. No. Anyway, Sonic 2 is doing okay. It's 71 million at the box office for the first weekend.
More than okay, I would say. Is that opening weekend? Is that opening weekend?
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks pretty entertaining.
I think that's more than
the first one did.
I've seen it.
You've seen that?
I'll talk about it later. But
you've seen Sonic 2?
Yep.
Did you get dragged to the cinema, or were you doing the dragging?
No, I think me and Danny dragged Evelyn to the cinema, to be honest with you.
Come on, it'll be fine.
Yeah, she's not going to go 2 hours back.
Yeah. I'll probably see it eventually when it comes to Paramount Plus. But yeah, I'm not going to rush out and watch it. James, are you a big Sonic fan?
Used to be on the Game Gear. Never had a Mega Drive. Well, I did for a overnight and took
Game Gear going way back.
And got a Nintendo. So not a Sonic movie fan. No, I'm not against it. It's just
seen the first one too. Have you?
No.
Oh, you haven't? All right, okay. Good film. Good film. First one.
We just kind of missed it.
Yeah, first one's good.
Jim Carrey's great in it.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He says he's quitting Hollywood. He's done.
He is. He also supports Chris Rock.
Aye.
He does. Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
He was on CBS Morning TV with.
He did some great stuff there actually when he was talking about the whole slap thing. So yeah. I'm team Mario.
Although we don't know about the movies because so far Sonic's kicking Mario's backside as far as movies are concerned.
Yeah. Well, Mario's out this year, isn't it?
Yes, with Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that'll be interesting. And I think it's animated. I don't think it's not. Please tell me it's not going to be another.
Oh, it's going to be live action. That'll be awesome. And they've got pneumatic boots to allow them to jump.
It was Bob Hoskins. It was.
Yeah. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
Bob Hoskins. Yeah. Vito. Same thing.
Yeah. Have you ever seen them in the same room? No.
Exactly.
And I added this story here because I thought it was funny. Brie Larson joins the cast of Fast and Furious 10. Your stunned silence says everything. Now, the only reason I added this is because I've got a terrible joke.
Oh, good.
This is going to be one of the most expensive movies ever made. Because as we know, diesel's gone up in price.
Wow.
That's not just a bad joke. You better leave this podcast right now. Even though this is your baby.
I'm intrigued.
They love it. I told them they thought it was fantastic.
I'm intrigued at the whole kind of Vin Diesel Rock.
They do, clearly.
Vin Diesel
the rivalry.
The rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of automatically assumed Hollywood would side with The Rock. That's not the case, because Vin Diesel's still got a thing going. People still obviously...
Yeah.
But it's just the Fast and Furious he's got going, really, is it not?
But it makes money for Universal, and to be quite frank and honest, it's the only thing that Universal's got is that franchise.
It is that franchise.
Yeah, I mean, he's in animations and stuff. He does the voice of Groot and things, but in movies, that's the only thing he's got, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm saying that as if that's his, he's clinging on to nothing. But those films are like massive. Huge
they
films.
are huge. I still watch them. I think they're just it's eye candy. It's
and I mean I know a lot of people that walked out at number 9 because it just took it too far.
It did when they went into space. It was pretty bad.
They just took the stunts too
far.
I'm
going to start watching these films.
They go into space in a Hyundai accent. I think it is.
See what I heard about the thing going into space. I mean, I've seen a trailer with the pendulum sort of the car thing.
That's ridiculous enough. Yeah.
But when I heard them going into space, I was like, and I saw the trailer, I'm like, this is too far. But I'm still a little bit intrigued. But I've still not seen it.
The Super Easy, Barely an Inconvenience guy does a really good.
Yeah.
That guy.
He does a movie pitch.
Yeah, the movie pitch. Yeah. He does a really good one for Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah.
So there you go. So Brie Larson is joining Fast and Furious 10.
Number 10. I mean, is this never going to end?
They said there's another 3 movies in it, so it's going to go up to 12
anytime soon.
Wow.
No,
I mean, I know they're still making movies, so it's one of those ones. As long as they're making movies, they're just going to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
It's like a clone of a clone of a clone. The first clone's okay. So, it's like that. What was that movie, Multiplicity, with Michael Keaton? Gradually the clones get worse and worse and more stupid and dumber. That's who was his
Fast
wife?
And
Furious franchise.
Who played his wife?
He played his wife in Multiplicity.
Right.
It was. You know this. You know it, don't you?
Maybe.
Who is it?
I think it's Andy McDowell.
Oh, probably. She was very big back then.
She was.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember, James? Remember that film?
No.
Michael Keaton. You don't remember that film?
Multiplicity? No.
Aye. Michael Keaton clones of himself. And
Andy McDowell.
No.
And the more clones they made, the more stupid they got. So that's the kind of.
Is Q in it?
Q's in it. John Delancey. Julie Bowen's in it as well.
Oh wow!
Wow.
It's a good film, actually. It's a really good film. Oh Jesus! What the hell was that? Actually, what was that?
Do you want me to come round?
2 seconds. If you don't mind
now. Eugene Levy as well.
So it is.
Yeah, so there's a good cast. So yeah, Captain Marvel joins Groot.
And Groot, yeah. I sent a picture to Jay and Faith this afternoon. Someone had opened like a box of Marvel Legends toys for Love and Thunder. Reveal you get they call it spoilers, obviously, but if you it's spoilers. You get if you see like a Lego. If you see like a Lego pack and it reveals what's going to happen in a film before the film's out, they call it a toiler, not a spoiler.
Really?
So in the Marvel Legends Love and Thunder, like Hasbro box, some guy had opened it up and he got like the 7 figures, and it showed you there was like a Groot in it and a Star-Lord, and then there was a Mighty Thor and the Ravager Thor and a Thor, but they were all 3 different people.
Oh, okay.
It was quite interesting. There was a Groot. It was teenage Groot was in it.
So is this gonna be like a multiverse thing then?
I don't think it's going to be a multiverse thing, because anyone can be Thor. If you're worthy, then you can be Thor. Yeah. So you see Jane as Thor, obviously, but we all kind of
we knew that. Yeah.
But there's a new character. Can't remember his name. There's a new character, and I'll send you the.
It makes sense that some of the Guardians of the Galaxy characters are going to be in it, because that's the last time you see Thor. Is spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Endgame. Where you see him taking off with the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy, because he's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
How good was that scene in Endgame when they were kind of vibing off each other about who possibly would be in charge?
Yes.
Of the Milano.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
Pretty funny.
We were watching Endgame the other day.
Oh, cool.
Again.
And at one point, Quill does I'm going to be in charge because
That's
I'm.
The voice.
Yeah, he does the voice and goes, why didn't you talk like that?
This is my normal voice.
I have always talked like this. Receive pronunciation.
Great fun.
What do you guys think about Jane being Thor?
Love it. I think she's. I love her. I love Natalie Portman. Totally love her. I don't know how much it's going to be like that, though. I don't think she's going to carry the whole movie.
But is there not a comic book series where she Thor's not well or something, and she takes over?
I don't know, but
it's not a thing.
I think that's a good thing about Marvel movies, though, is that they kind of cherry pick, don't they, from the comic books, interesting things, but they do their own spin on it type thing.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll carry the whole movie, but I think it's.
Have you guys ever heard of Beta Ray Bill?
No.
Beta Ray Bill is a Thor, and I'm kind of want Beta Ray Bill to be Thor. He's a cool
comic book Thor.
Right. Yeah. So that's when I was younger, when I was reading the books. When Beta Ray Bill became Thor, they just always referred to him as Thor, and then I got used to the idea of it doesn't just have to be Odin's son who can be Thor. It is literally anyone who is worthy.
Yeah, and I would say anything goes now in the movies. Especially now the timeline's all split and things like that. I mean, we could have Iron Man, we could have Robert Downey Jr. back easily, de-aged. A younger version. Anything goes now.
Where does all that stop, Jody? Where does that stop? The kind of the de-aged, like when he brought Tarkin back, for Rogue One.
That wasn't de-aged. That was just CGI. Though that was just
CGI. But you can bring those characters back.
Yeah.
Then how?
Who do you have?
I mean, literally, you could just have anyone. You could have
anything goes.
Anyone who's passed away. I mean, you literally could have Jimi Hendrix in a role.
Well, you can now because they could probably they did that Jimi Hendrix movie with Andre 3000, from Outkast years ago. But they could probably get deep fake of Jimi Hendrix and stick him on Andre 3000's face, and it would look like Jimi Hendrix in that role.
Yeah. So then, when you pass
easily.
away, if you're an actor, if you're like a huge actor and you're into stuff and you're a box office draw, what do you put in your, if you pass?
I think
away,
you'd have to put that.
Yeah, I see.
You'd definitely have to put that in your contract, like or like your will or something that you can't be used for that. Or
and then if you're in a film, if you're in a film that depicts history, and you've passed away, but your likeness is used in a film that depicts history that you didn't agree with.
Yeah. I know.
That's where
it's going. People will have to put that into a clause.
There's also audio.
However,
there's also the deep fake audio that is a copy of somebody's voice now as well.
Adobe were working on that for years, and they released a demo of it, and then somebody said, "Oh, this is a terrible idea," and they went, "You're right, it is," and then stopped working on it.
It's obviously these are great ideas. Like everything's a great idea until a bad person gets a hold of it, and then does something with it.
Did Mark Hamill not sign away his likeness to George Lucas? Which means
they all did early on.
Yeah, Disney owns Mark Hamill's likeness.
Yeah.
Well, Lucasfilm's likeness. So would it have to be specifically put in a clause that I own your likeness beyond, mortality,
beyond death,
forevermore?
Possibly, yeah.
It goes even lower scale than that. One of my friends was in an extra in the new Indiana Jones movie. A guy I used to work with, and they scanned him and his likeness, and he signed a thing to be a background member as a computer generated character in future Lucasfilm Disney films. So that's
That's
it goes deeper than
I guess as well that they're looking for that as well, because they want like crowd scenes or whatever that they can just like they put matchsticks on there and they just
he was he was dressed up as a cop, but he was probably in 3 different positions in a scene or something, or and then for future reference they'll store him for future movies or whatever as well. So it goes deeper than just the stars, I think.
Interesting. Anyway, that's for another podcast.
Oh, it's deep.
Yeah, Faith's asking us about theories for multiverse and madness, but I think that might be for another podcast. What's everyone's theories for the multiverse? Jeez,
our minds will be blown. That's my theory.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the sky, as Jean-Luc Picard once said, who is appearing in Multiverse of Madness, the sky's the limit.
Well, it's great to see
that's what I'm watching as well.
Wanda in it, isn't it? The kind of continuation of where Wanda's going in it, which I like. And we're going to see bad Doctor Strange in it.
So Jay was telling me tonight it's going to be a 2-hour movie, 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Is that all?
Aye, but I said to Faith and Jay this afternoon after hearing that
feel like this is a part 1.
No, it wasn't that. I was just like, well, Wanda's a fully formed character with a fully formed backstory that you literally need no extra detail. She can just appear and instantly.
As long as you've seen the TV series.
I don't think she's the big
all
bad.
the movies.
I think they're now doing these things like that's a prerequisite. You have to have seen that, and if you don't, tough shit on you. But that type of audience now is just like. Well,
I'd say Marvel are better at doing that than Star Wars are. I think Marvel probably would still very cleverly give a little bit of
the difference is
flavor
though
of where she's come from.
The difference is that
or where she is at the moment.
It's across the same. The TV shows that Marvel does is part of the MCU. But for Star Wars, you've got to watch like the Clone Wars and Rebels and this and that and the next thing. And that's not the same thing. It's not continually the same.
Star Wars expects you to have watched everything and go, oh, here's Darth Maul,
video games,
and not explain it at all. There he is. There he is. Wait a minute, he's dead. What the hell?
You have to have played Fallen Order as well to understand.
Well, certainly, yeah. So they're not as clever at it as Marvel are. I'd say Marvel are better at it.
Yeah, there's a couple of zombies in it. Yeah.
Well, there is going to be,
and they introduced that with What If as well.
Yeah,
like I think quite a lot of the What If stuff is going to appear in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
The first taste of
you're not wrong, James.
James, Marvel and Star Wars are becoming like weekly soap opera. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not
so
bad.
our first taste of Marvel Zombies was from Far From Home, when Mysterio was messing with Peter's mind, and you seen the kind of
yeah.
Iron Man.
You're right. Yep,
yeah,
you're
true.
right. Yeah.
So they've been hinting at that for a while.
Yeah,
that's one of my favourite parts in any Marvel movie. Actually, that bit.
That Mysterio sequence.
So good. Brilliant.
Aye.
My mind gets blown every time there's like a sequence like that, or a Doctor Strange sequence where he's like getting blasted into the universe and into the mind's eye and things like
100%. Our minds will be utterly blown by this movie.
Oh yeah.
there'll be.
I said to Faith and Jay, like, I think there'll be at least six massive revelations that maybe like for No Way Home or for Endgame, there might have been. The whole thing may have been amazing, but there might have been 2 or 3 massive revelations. I think this is going to be like, I don't know, 10 even. Like, it's going to be nuts. This is going to be nuts.
I love the first Doctor. I thought it was just brilliant. It's one of my favourites. Definitely.
It is. It's great. I really liked it as well, the Doctor Strange one, and I feel that this is the sort of proper start to Phase 4. I know Phase 4 started with one of the Spider-Man movies. Was it No Way Home? No, was it? No, it was
No Way. Well, it was No Way Home because that was the first one from where does this phase start from where Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man died?
Maybe.
Because if that's the case, then No Way Home. No, sorry, not No Way Home. Far From Home was the first movie after he died.
Yeah. I thought that was the beginning of Phase 4.
Okay, so apparently Phase 4 began with WandaVision.
Oh well, that makes sense.
And moved to their first Phase 4 movie, which is Black Widow, which I think everybody here watched on TV.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh no, I went to the Everyman in Harrogate to see that with Faith.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that was one of the.
We bought it. Yeah. We bought it because it was one of the big ones. We were like, we can't not see that one. We bought it in Disney, but we watched it on the projector, so it was kind of Captain Carter's shield is in the MOM poster.
Oh, is it? I actually have. She's way back there. I actually have a Lego minifig of Captain Carter.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's a cool episode. I think that's probably one of my favorite.
It was a good one. That creature, the tentacle creature that comes out, Agar or whatever it's called, that's going to feature in Multiverse of Madness.
It's in the trailer.
Yeah,
isn't it? That was. I thought What If was great. I really enjoyed it. I liked the style. I liked that style.
Yeah. Shall we move on to what you're watching?
Yeah.
So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I can't remember what I've watched this week. I went to the cinema to see. To start off with, we on an outpouring of support for Chris Rock, and that's the only reason we watched Grown Ups on Netflix.
Jody, it's not worth it.
I thought I'd seen it before, but I think it's number 2 I've seen before. And do you know what? Do you know? See, for like a kind of throwaway,
it's a good time,
bit of fun. It's a good time.
It's a good time.
It is a good time.
We watched Grown Ups 2 the other night.
Grown Ups 2 is better, I think. Actually, Grown Ups 2 is better.
We enjoyed it, and it was a laugh and a joke.
Aye, me and Evelyn actually enjoyed. I don't know why you're saying that. Looking at that, Sloan, that's the type of film you watch every bloody week.
No, it isn't. Excuse me. Allow me to go back through, and I will tell you what movies I watch.
No.
None of these.
Right. Anyway, I had a good time with it. Evelyn had a good time with it.
It is a good time.
Danny didn't watch it, but
I like it.
Yeah. We went to the pictures.
Oh,
as in the movies for all
what
you
did
American
you go and see?
Poples. We went to see Sonic 2.
Ooh.
And I enjoyed it. I think Danny enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure he did, in fact. Evelyn didn't enjoy it that much. She was turned to me. She was like, "That's 2 years of my life I'll never get back." But I mean, Jim Carrey tears it up again. Probably even more, even better, probably than this one than he did in the last one. You get Knuckles in it this time. You get Tails in it, which are great additions, I think. And
Knuckles is played by Idris Elba.
I thought I recognised his voice actually. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of animated voices actually. I've seen him doing a lot of animated stuff. But because he was in the Jungle Book, he voiced Bagheera, didn't he? I think.
I never saw Jungle Book.
He
did play the big bison in Zootopia, though.
Yes, that's right. He was in that as well.
You are a little bunny.
Oh,
yeah. Let it go.
He's a solid actor, Big Idris.
And I just wish he would never do an American accent ever again. Just always be Idris.
Yeah, just be Idris.
Do your British thing.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Losers? That's the first thing I think I saw.
Yeah.
He plays Roke in Losers.
No, it was the first thing you probably saw him in was Prometheus, Sloan.
No, I don't like his American accent in Prometheus.
Was Losers before Prometheus? Was it?
Oh yeah.
Was it?
Losers is like 2009.
With what do you call him? The guy Harry Kane, not Harry Kane.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, 2010. 2010. It's Idris Elba, Zoe Saldana, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Chris Evans, Columbus Short, and Oscar Hanada.
All right.
And Jason Patrick plays the bad guy, and he is
is he
amazing in it? Yeah, he's really good.
So it was good. Actually, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's 2 hours long though, which is probably a little bit too long for.
Sounds long for that kind of film.
It is long for that kind of film. Actually, I think an hour and a half, would have been better. But I don't know. They could have trimmed it a bit. I don't know where, but they could have probably somewhere. Movie night was Danny's been playing Call of Duty. So he was wanting to watch a kind of war film. So we watched 1917. I've seen it before 3 times now.
Seen the pictures.
Aye.
Excellent cinematography from Roger Deakin,
our friend of the show. It's a great film. I mean, it's just, but I've seen it 3 or 4 times now, and it doesn't get. It's just great. I love it. And it's one of those ones that Danny just out of the blue said, "That was a great film, 1917." Just in the car, like today, I think. Like he's like, thinking about it, kind of thing. Still, there's a really powerful moment in it near the middle, or kind of around about the middle. The two young boys that are, they've got to get to tell a message to the squadron not to go over the top because it's going to be a massacre. And there's a really powerful...
Jody, you're describing the third act of Gallipoli.
Well, yeah. Well, have you seen 1917, Sloan?
No, but I've seen the third act of Gallipoli.
Aye, well, it's that kind of level of
Which, by the way, Mel Gibson, he's incredibly young in that, and it's a great movie as well.
Oh, terrific! We finished Severance.
I
can't even do a chef's kiss big enough. It was so good, so good. I can't even.
It's worth the $5 a month that Apple's charging for their service.
I actually think that the quality in Apple TV is very high, I have to say.
But the output is so small.
You've got to start
Which is not bad. It's not bad, but the quality is really good.
Yeah.
I like Snoopy.
It should be that.
There's a lot of Snoopy.
I've been watching a lot of the Snoopy stuff.
Yeah.
Has it been
There's
good?
a lot on there.
Without the kids, I
it
like
new
that
stuff?
vibe.
Is it new stuff?
That's new stuff,
Is it?
And I just like it being on.
We watched the Christmas special.
Yeah. I
That's
always like a wee bit. I always like that as well.
A bit of jazz. And the adults
The adults are just saying nothing.
I like it.
Yeah. Severance, for me, the last episode, I mean, it had been building up so brilliantly. And then the last episode for me, not only did it kind of, it was very the gratification of the ending the series, but also setting up the next
Season
series
2,
was very, very gratifying. Gratificational.
It's a word.
Gratificationifying.
The computer detected that was a lie.
Yeah, it was great. We finished inventing
Gratify?
inventing Anna as well.
You haven't finished that?
We just finished it there last night.
I bombed right through that. That's
Aye.
a week.
Oh, it's really good as well.
Mhm.
My God, she is like a wee. I can't even go there. But have you watched that, James? No.
No.
Oh,
It's on Netflix.
She's such a wee cow. Oh, wow. Even right to the end. No spoilers, but right to the end, she's like being just a wee cow, isn't she? Oh,
It's
the lawyer.
The reporter meets her for the first time, and she goes, "You're fat."
And she's pregnant, by the way.
She's pregnant. She goes, "Well, I'm pregnant." He goes, "No, it's not that."
What are you wearing?
Like, she's just the worst.
She's horrible.
And then she sees her after the pregnancy, and she goes, "You're not fat. Not you're looking great or anything. It's like you're not fat."
She's horrible. It's just brilliant.
Why do you wear clothes like that? She's like, what do you mean? She goes, like, they're ugly. Your clothes are ugly.
Yeah. Brilliant.
She's just awful to her, and she keeps coming back because it's her story. But yeah, it's so good, and all the supporting cast are really good in it as well.
Yeah. I tell you what we watched briefly last night as well, but people are starting to talk about. It's a Japanese show. This is the last one, but a Japanese show where toddlers get. It's basically the mum lets the toddler go to the shops by themselves, or get on a train by themselves to go somewhere, or
Scotland in the
go home
1970s.
and make. Basically, yeah. So like 2 years old or 4 years old, and they film them,
crossing motorways.
It's I get the impression it's like a route that they've done for this is a route their mum does, and the mum goes. I mean, it's real. It's all real.
Wow.
And but the camera's following them all the way, type thing.
Is this on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd read about it, and I'd read about it. I think when I was in Canada, and I'd read it saying it was basically saying, "Is this the most controversial TV show in history?" Because they're letting like a little kid, go by themselves to like Morrison's or Walmart or something, equivalent, and going to buy the shopping, a couple of items for shopping, and then walking home, but having to cross roads and
how interesting.
But it's really good actually. It's not as kind of, I don't know. I don't buy into all the kind of controversy about it, because there's a camera crew there. They're following them and stuff, and there's one scene actually where you can see that there's about 10 steps in front. There's somebody in front.
Aye.
There's somebody always there watching them, that they're okay.
And it's on Netflix.
Yeah, and it's done, and there's a voiceover and stuff, and it's really. I liked it. We liked it. We watched a couple of. And they're only 7 minutes long each.
Yeah. What's it called?
Oh, good.
Back in 2 seconds.
I'm trying to find it, but I can't see it.
Wait a minute, I'll tell you. King of the Monsters is on now.
If I search for toddler, that just gives me a whole bunch of stuff.
Wait a second. No, don't search for that. I'll tell you. No, I don't know. Does anybody in chat know? Is it on your list? Try to find my list here. I'll get it. I'll find it. In fact, I'll get it from Watch Next.
Is a Fable.
Continue watching. Old Enough, it's called.
Old Enough.
Old Enough.
Old Enough.
Mm-hmm. So it's described as. Oh shit.
Oh right, okay. I have seen this advertised. It was under Feel Good for some unknown reason.
Well, I would actually go with that.
Feel Good family reality TV.
Mm.
Okay. You did also watch the first episode of Jimmy Savile, and Moon Knight as well, but we're going to talk about Moon Knight.
We're going to talk about Moon Knight. Well, you know, I've watched Jimmy Savile. I don't think James has.
No, James has. He's watched both episodes.
Oh, so he has.
Yeah.
Aye, so he has.
You've only watched one episode, though.
No, I've watched them both now.
Oh, you watched them both?
Yeah.
You said, James.
Yes.
Did Jody say he'd only watched the first episode of Jimmy Savile?
No, he said he completed it.
All right, okay. You've seen both of them, or
I've seen 1.5.
All right, okay, right.
Okay. Who are we? Are we watching? Are we listening to?
Well, I was just saying there. Well, Sloan reminded me that I'd watched the Jimmy Savile thing as well. We've all watched it to a certain extent. It's probably not that far away, James. To be honest with you, I haven't watched half of the second half, but
yeah.
I don't know what to say about it, really. You know,
it's shocking.
I think. I mean, if you don't,
do you know
if you know the stories about it, you probably don't need to watch it. But
well, I think actually the revelations that, you know, I mean, obviously the paedophile stuff, which the paedophile stuff was shocking. But isn't it amazing how none of it is like people came forward and stuff after he died? Why didn't people? I know that he was powerful. Well, right, I'll start from the scratch. Start from the
For those of you who don't know, Jimmy Savile was a DJ in Britain.
Aye.
And he had access to kids because he did kids programs.
Mm-hmm.
And for some unknown reason, he also was a porter at a hospital.
It was a massive fundraiser.
He was a massive... Steady on.
He was a total fundraiser.
Yeah. And he put him on the map with British aristocrats, royalty.
Because they basically wanted a way to pardon the expression, touch the common people. They wanted the ability to like reach down essentially and be with them. And they saw this guy who was doing that kind of stuff, and they thought,
Sloan, they never reached out to him. He weaseled his way into that circle of trust. The royals, politicians, you know, that was his whole thing. And
that's not what I got from the documentary.
I never get the impression that
the feeling I got from the documentary was they saw that this guy was doing these things, and then they piggybacked off that.
Yes, I got that from it.
Yeah,
they did to a certain extent.
They asked him for help.
So
he didn't ask them for help. They asked him for help.
He ran marathons, and people liked it.
Yeah,
and he was. You could identify with him if you were from a working class background. He
worked down the
language.
He worked down the pits. He was a common man. People identified with him because they knew they've seen that guy down the pub. He was that guy down the pub. You know, the guy that's always running everywhere, and just that guy. And the hoity-toities of the country, they saw that he was popular, and they thought, and especially after the whole Stoke Mandeville Hospital thing, that's when it really took off for him. As far as like being in part of the royal circle, because before that, he was denied several times a knighthood. Even though he'd done a whole bunch of stuff for charity, they're all like, I don't know about this guy. But as soon as the Stoke Mandeville thing happened, and they could see that this wasn't, that part of his life wasn't going away, that's when they started latching onto him. And because Diana would come round for tea and all this kind of stuff, Charles would like initially sent him typed notes, and then eventually it was handwritten notes.
All handwritten.
Yeah.
Looking for advice on the royal family. Looked to him for advice on how to deal with like
Lockerbie.
Disasters.
Lockerbie.
Lockerbie.
Right. What I got from it was right. When he says it himself, he says it himself. Says it himself at the beginning. He says, when people said, what kind of job do you want? He's like, well, I thought I'll create a job, a perfect job for myself. I like pop music, I like meeting people, and I like pretty girls.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what he said.
Young girls.
Well, whatever he said. And so then that's what he did, right? So he became this pop DJ and personality, right? So then he started doing all the charity work.
Mm-hmm.
But the charity work was done to offset all the bad stuff he was doing.
Yes.
Right?
Correct. Well, he thought... so he believed that he wasn't going to get into the pearly gates because of all the bad stuff he did. So he figured out
but nobody's
do
proven
all this good stuff.
I know.
Then the it's that whole... We'll get to it in Moon Knight as well. You'll get to the scale balancing, and you'll find out that, oh, I did all this charity stuff, therefore I can get in, despite the fact I was an evil SOB and all doing all these other things.
The most frustrating part about it is the people that turned a blind eye to him. I think, And
they never interviewed Jerry Sadowitz, and they never interviewed Johnny Rotten, two of the people in the 1970s that spoke out about him.
That called him out, innit?
That called him out. And Jerry Sadowitz spent most of the 80s calling him out. In fact, Jerry Sadowitz lost his BBC show because of that.
The Johnny Rotten interview was the one.
I remember that. Yep.
And he kept swearing, I think.
That wasn't that one. It was a different one, Sloan.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That was later on. It was much later on when he was older.
The whole thing's mental. The whole thing is absolutely mental.
It's messed up, and like you were saying earlier on, how my take on it was him doing all that stuff was him trying to get in there, and obviously, eventually, or not obviously, but eventually, the establishment did start to recognize him as being this really good person and stuff, and almost became like an unofficial advisor to Prince Charles. Was like unbelievable.
And other members of the royal family.
For that to happen, I mean, the guy's, what is he? He's just a celebrity.
Yeah,
At
one point,
good at
and the whole Broadmoor thing, the whole the hospitals. He was a porter and all that, but he was using that. He was using that to his own gain to get into the child's wards and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's mad. I mean, I don't know. God, you don't know where to start with that program, do you? Really, it's crazy. It's. Do you know what the worst? To me, the worst thing is that he's dead, and he never
paid,
went to trial or nothing.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about it.
Yeah.
It's all people going, oh, we did see it, but we never said anything. And the police, he was all friends with all the police as well. They were all around his house on the Monday Club or whatever they called it.
Friday morning club or something.
Yeah, whatever it was. And he was like, oh, I've had a few of these daft letters again, I just, and they just binned them or whatever.
And it was right about the mid-90s where they started to form that kind of the task force, to end, like all the wrongdoings.
Aye, the paedophiles and stuff.
Paedophile rings and
yeah.
And then people didn't really, like officers at that time didn't think that was a good move for them. Like all the kind of nuances and the politics of the mid-90s. Like, I'm not doing that. That's a woman's job. What, like hunting down paedophiles?
Yeah,
not doing that.
Child pornography. That's a woman's job.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Oh yeah. So
it's mind blowing. And you think to yourself, well, was it of its time? Are we more sort of aware now of that type of behaviour, or is it because it was back then that they got away with it? I don't know. Is it hindsight? now.
I mean, I would like to say it's more obvious, but you've got people like Harvey Weinstein. I was watching.
Well, there you go. He was
Roger Ailes as well, and Fox, Bill O'Reilly,
Bill Cosby.
I mean,
but then that was back in the day. That's historical as well.
He's got a TV show as well. There's a TV show. Let's talk about Bill. This was
in
the States. I've not seen it over here yet.
Right. I've not seen it either.
It feels like Let's Talk About Bill.
Yeah.
And it talks again, because that documentary we're all talking about, the Savile thing, talks about loads of positive stuff that he done.
I know.
And Bill Cosby also done loads of positive stuff as well. So,
but it is like that, like Sloane's saying about the, and that, I suppose it comes back to, Moon Knight, but which we will talk about, and once I'm still in my programs, you guys haven't even got one.
Well, the
right, I'm done.
The Jimmy Savile thing, I've watched that, so we've discussed that. And just quickly, what else did I watch? We've been watching the Will Smith thing, the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It's just called Bel Air.
Oh yeah.
So I've been watching that and really enjoying it. Although this week or the last couple of weeks we've watched it, I kind of felt like it's been a bit tainted. Even though Will Smith's not actually in it, we've really enjoyed every episode. And for me personally, just the last couple of episodes, I'm like, and I think if the slap happened, and then they said this TV show was coming out 2 or 3 weeks later, I wouldn't have started watching it.
Oh, really?
I watched it like pre-slap.
BS.
BS.
No, it's BS.
I watched it BS.
Before slap.
And was enjoying it, and I enjoyed it so much that we just kept on watching it. So we've just finished this season finale of the first season and really liked it. And then myself and Heidi went to the cinema the other night, and there was a choice of going to see Morbius, which interestingly enough, no one's spoken about, and that's obviously a Marvel thing, but none of us, it's not on anyone's radar. And even when given the choice to go and see Morbius as probably a fairly easy movie to watch for 2 hours, or go and see Batman again for 3 hours, me and Heidi chose to go and see Batman again.
Brilliant.
And we were and see the second time around, I was just like, I really, really, really like it. So that's, out of all the stuff I've watched this week, I would say Batman at the Pictures is probably the main thing that's.
I was talking Batman actually. We were out last night. I was talking Batman about to Evelyn's nephew, and he's a massive Batman fan, and he's seen it 3 times now, and he loves it, man. And I was like, I think it's my favourite Batman film. I think it. Do you know what I think it is? I think the previous Batman films have picked up in maybe one aspect of Batman, whereas I think this Batman has a kind of more well-rounded. It picks up in the detective factor, the kind of Dark Knight factor, the fact that he's a bit of a, he's a disturbed individual as well. Batman's not like, Batman's messed up, and I like the fact that Bruce Wayne's not a fully formed character as well. He's there's no difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman in this movie. There's no separation.
No, there's not.
Do you know what I mean? And I love that. Nobody's done that in a movie. And obviously the baddies are fantastic. Even the deleted scene, Joker, terrific. So yeah.
So that was it. That's probably my outstanding thing this week. Was just watching the Batman again. And I'd go and see it. If someone said, let's go and see it tonight again, I'd go and see it again.
Me.
So. I'll pick up in 5 minutes.
Someone's going to be closing.
Anyway, I'm going to the toilet. I'm not going to see Batman. 2 seconds.
All right, okay. You know what's not been watching? All right, okay. It's fine.
That's it.
Well, I was watching Severance. We watched the Jimmy Savile thing as well.
Yeah.
And Moon Knight. I think that's our sort of overlap this week. I'll talk to you about this because Jodie's out of the room. So I watched Picard season 2. I'm continuing to watch that.
What episode are you on? I've not seen the latest one. I've not seen Friday's episode.
I'm not sure. What episodes are there? Let me just look it up.
Are you enjoying it?
No.
You're not enjoying it as much as you would hope. You'd like to enjoy it.
What did I watch? Fly Me to the 2 of 2 with the Queen. Yeah, I think it's Fly Me to the Moon is the one I've just finished, which is episode 5. So
I've not seen that.
Okay. So I think the reason why I'm watching it is so that I get context, so I can watch the Red Letter Media guys rip it to shreds. Because it's not. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but they do, and it doesn't feel like Star Trek.
It's not. It doesn't. I know, but I don't think. But then, are you just want another show with a captain on a bridge, flying around from planet to planet? Because that's kind of ultimately what it would end up being if you got what you wanted.
Yeah, but I think that's the problem. Is Star Trek is them going to alien worlds and finding out they're not so different from other places and solving whatever the problem is because they're enlightened and they can help. And I think the problem with Picard is, first of all, Picard's hardly in it. That's the number one thing. Picard is hardly in it, and so it's down to the supporting cast. And you've got characters that they make bone. Like there's a bit in it where one of the characters dies. One of the main cast from season 1 dies. And
temporarily.
He's dead for now anyway. Yeah, who knows? But she goes like mental and goes like, and you know what I've seen here? I've seen a complete lack of leadership, and points at Picard, and you're going like, hold on a minute.
I knew this was Star Trek.
Things happen. This is a military operation. Things happen. It's like it's not his fault that he died. It just that because the guy came out and they teleported in and shot him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how's that Picard's fault? Mm-hmm. He didn't know that was going to happen. So it just like there's all these weird things that happen. James is saying that he generally liked the first season, but some reservations. I tried to watch the first. I watched the first episode of the first season, and I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. I can't do this. I got further into the second season, but I'm still. It still really doesn't feel like Star Trek to me. Like Voyager is, for me, Voyager is peak Star Trek. If you want a good TV show, good Star Trek TV show, go watch Voyager, because Janeway's fantastic. The entire crew are fantastic. Is
that the Pike stuff?
No. Pike,
Captain Pike.
Pike's
no, that's Strange New World.
Is that coming out?
That's coming out.
Strange New World,
So that's Spock, EXO.
It does.
So it's back to having a female EXO, which is the original one played by Majel Barrett, and the studio went, we can't have a female EXO, and that was it. That was the end of that. Despite the fact that it was created by Desilu, and Lucille Ball is probably one of the most famous people in charge of a studio ever. But never mind. The Paramount or CBS or whoever it was, or NBC it was at the time, said we can't have that. So it was canned. And Nurse Chapel is in this new one.
That's right. Yeah, and a few extra characters we've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I might give that one a chance. The Captain Pike one.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's very Kelvin University, it feels like. But they mention. Do you remember the Assignment Earth episode of the original Star Trek series?
No, I can't remember it. No.
They meet this guy and he's a supervisor, and he's got this cat as well. And it was supposed to be like a spin-off show called Assignment Earth, and it never launched. But Picard's brought that in. Picard season 2's got a bit of that in it. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's like, but if this is part of the Kelvin universe, how can this be there? But it can't be this one. Anyway,
I think it is definitely Kelvin-y, but I also think it is quite original series-y.
Yeah,
I think the title Strange New Worlds will give us that kind of. I think they're going to go back to that kind of episodic, one and done. No real overarching
Monster of the Week type episodes. I hope they go back to that.
And I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well.
Yeah. I'm not.
All right. Anyway, so moving on to things that you might be interested in. I'm watching Reacher on Amazon Prime.
Jack Reacher.
I've seen the first episode.
Reacher.
All right.
It's superb.
I've heard it's good, actually.
That's all I can say. It's superb. He's
a big lad.
It's back to the book. I think he's like 6'7" and like 320 pounds or so. He's massive. This guy. He's like you're not going to miss this guy in a crowd.
Yeah, I think when it first came out when Tommy Cruise,
Tom Cruise,
everyone's like, no,
who's that guy?
Jack Reacher. Yeah.
But this guy's really good, and he's obviously a bit on the spectrum, I think.
Yes.
And because he takes things literally, and he doesn't really make friends that well. But it's a very dry sense of humor he's got, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
He's going, why don't you?
He walks everywhere.
Yeah, and he walks everywhere. He just kind of walks into places, like backtracks and looks at things and stuff. It's really good. We're on episode 6 of 9.
All right.
It's like a really, really, really strong, tall, massive American version of Sherlock Holmes.
Is it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Who likes to beat people over the head with things? Mostly his forearm, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. So he plays the exact same character that Tiny Tom Cruise plays, but he's obviously more akin to the books. Right. But yeah, as James said, it's a detective show. Essentially.
That sounds cool.
With a guy who's known for killing people.
I've heard good things about it. So.
A definite in-your-face detective show. Like,
yeah.
If you didn't know this was a detective show, this is now. You will now know it's a detective show.
Yeah, you were like, oh, okay. I watched Bombshell this week as well. And
I've seen that.
With Charlize Theron.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who else is it? Margot Robbie.
Yep.
Nicole Kidman.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole Kidman is in a blink and you'll miss her type role, although she's actually quite integral to the actual story. She's in it. I think her entire screen time is like 4 minutes or something. She's not in it a lot, but she plays Gretchen Carlson. She does a really good job of playing Gretchen Carlson. She's
always good, I think. I think she's great.
Yeah, but she's not in it for much. Obviously, Margot Robbie's in it quite a bit.
She's brilliant.
Didn't she get an Oscar for that? I'm sure one of them got an Oscar. One of the Bombshell.
Yeah, I think so. I think
one of the Bombshell.
Certainly nominated. It was a great.
I'm sure it was Margot because I'm sure she got 2. Because I do remember something article.
I Tonya was Margot Robbie as well.
I know, but I'm sure Margot got 2. I don't think I Tonya was out the same year as Bombshell, was it?
No. But I think she was up for Oscars for I Tonya.
Aye.
Same director for I Tonya that it was for Tommy. Was Bombshell the same director? No.
Margot Robbie was nominated for Bombshell, but she lost out to Laura Dern for Marriage Story.
Oh yeah,
Laura Dern. What for her role in Star Wars?
For her role as Admiral Purple-haired woman in a prom dress.
Don't get me started. I'll tell you what, though. Why love Laura Dern in that outfit?
Why wasn't she wearing like a uniform like everybody else? Why was she at a gala? Something? Was she on the planet? I mean, I know. Let it go.
Definitely stick to dinosaur hunting. That's what she should stick to.
She should do. Ellie.
I'm going through therapy. I'm going through therapy about all that stuff. So let's not. Hello, Sharon. How you doing?
You just caught me.
About Star Wars again.
About, The Last Jedi again. I watched Return to Space as well. This is the last one for me. Return to Space is basically a love letter to. It's a fluff piece for SpaceX.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I gave it 4 stars in Letterboxd. I thought it was fantastic.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, yeah. I don't know. I can take or leave the Tesla thing, cars, but I really wish him and the team the best of luck for SpaceX. It's such a just get us out there. Like you've got to make it happen.
Well, they're the guys that are going to do it.
They are.
No one. NASA. I don't know. NASA are doing stuff, but these billionaire boys are going to be the ones probably that are going to, populate other planets. I reckon.
Well, I hope so.
I don't know who's got the keys to the door to the moon and Mars and things like that. I don't know how that works.
Well,
politically
SpaceX,
and things, but
SpaceX are working on a new project now called Starship. Where did they get that idea from? And so that's the thing that's going to get us to Mars. Apparently,
I love how I don't know. Is it Jeff Bezos or is it Elon Musk keeps having his rockets looking like a cock and balls?
That is. It looks exactly like the escape vehicle from Goldmember or something. Austin Powers, yeah. It's Jeff Bezos.
Oh, it's Bezos. It is.
Is it Bezos? Yeah. Is it that does that?
It's just.
It's a rocket.
Bezos.
It's kind of like a bit of a cock.
Well, all rockets do, I suppose.
I mean,
but
they are.
Bezos looks like Dr.
Do you think they're compensating for something?
That's the thing. Bezos looks like Dr. Evil.
No. Bezos does look like Dr. Evil. It's here's a man who lost half his fortune and is still the richest man in the world.
I know.
I mean,
How'd he lose it?
Because his wife divorced him.
All right, okay, I missed that one.
Yeah,
I'm sure
she's giving it all away now.
Wait a minute,
probably, actually.
Wait a minute.
Sorry, Chris. Stealing the jokes. I find it was Chris Rock that did it. That's where I got it from.
Well, she's become a billionaire-ess.
Yeah.
Just because she was married to him?
She was pretty much Amazon at the start, so let's not.
Oh, so she was a partner in Amazon, right? So it wasn't just
underestimate Mackenzie's role in the whole Amazon operation here.
I thought she was just a.
No. She did a lot of the groundwork when he was sobbing into his pillow and going, "I can't believe I've got my. I look like this. I look like Dr. Evil." And she's like, "Pull yourself together, man. We're going to open this other warehouse."
We spoke about this before, but it's his personality. So that the William Shatner thing when they come back down to Earth.
Even Lemmy was
he's standing with William Shatner and asking him a question, but he's getting distracted by some daft women in the background
and champagne.
That was annoying, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I know. It wasn't nice.
Oh, so annoying.
Didn't
so
like
annoying.
That.
No, we did not like that.
We love you, Bill.
We love you, Bill.
We do love you. Bill turned 91 last week, I think.
Mm-hmm. Tell you, man, I think this guy's holding off until we colonize Mars.
Bill rocks.
Tell you, I think he wants to set foot in Mars.
Good old. Yeah, will do.
Without him.
Do you know who's not a paedophile? Bill Shatner. Just saying. A lot of people are.
Do you know?
He's a lot of
Sloan,
not one of those people.
Sloan, remember we used to randomly name shows? If we were to randomly name a show, that would be it. Do you know who's not a paedophile? Bill Shatner. That's the name of that episode.
Come on.
We used to do that.
I know. I was actually, Joe was going to start off tonight's episode and say, and now a word from our sponsor, Shark Tank. Do you have a shark and then want to put it in a tank? We're the right place for you. Tanks-for-sharks.com.
Oh, do you know what?
Blogspot.com.
I'm going to make up the little adverts for fake companies.
I've got to read them out on air.
On
air. On the internet. On air. The hubris.
What year are you?
Should we talk Moonlight?
Yes,
Moonlight. Yes. It's all right, isn't it? Right. Well, thanks very much for watching, folks. Okay.
Yeah. Like, full apologies here. What happened was nobody. Well, you don't know. The audience don't know this, but we had a discussion about doing a sort of Moon Knight weekly watch along thing. But it was left to me to do it, and I thought, oh God, I don't want the responsibility. And it felt wrong not having you there, Sloan, as well. So This is why we're just going to
That's
discuss.
the reason why.
You're recovering from your thing.
Recent
episode.
Aye.
Yeah.
So I thought we need to cover it some way. So let's discuss it.
Let's cover it this way. Well, to be honest, when we do the watch-alongs, we don't really discuss the episodes anyway, so this is a bit of a change for us anyhow.
For sure.
So who wants to go
I'm all
first?
in. I am all in on Moon Knight. I absolutely adore it. Was chatting to Jay and Faith about it earlier on this afternoon. Jay said it was the best, I think I've said this previously, the best opening episode for any of the TV shows. I like it and liked it like the first episode a whole lot.
Do you know how? Sorry to interrupt. Do you know how I knew it was the best first episode? They released one episode.
They know. There's a really interesting interview with the cast and the crew of Moon Knight on the Empire podcast. So they interviewed the director and the writer. I think he wrote 4 episodes. Wrote and directed 4 episodes, and there's another guy that done 2. Is it Layla? Who's Mark's wife, not Stephen's wife? Is she Layla?
Yeah. Layla, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So I think she is British Egyptian or American Egyptian, and I think the director is also Egyptian. So there's lots and lots of like credibility there.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love the work they do with the mirrors.
The reflective surfaces,
if he's speaking to himself, but the reflection is at a different angle, they're looking where they should be looking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, remember in the toilet scene at the end of the first episode?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
His image breaks away from him and heads further up his toilet scene, and they're speaking to each other at the proper angles as if they were separate people, but it's kind of still a reflection.
Yeah.
And that theme, that kind of, they figured out the physics of the reflection and making it. I mean, even in the episode we just watched just recently, when he's looking in the fish tank, the reflection's in the fish tank, but Layla's looking in the fish tank, but he's looking up at the exact places he should be looking. All that stuff's just golden.
It's brilliant the way it's done, and Oscar Isaac is nailing it completely. He's brilliant anyway. But and I think, I don't think, but I've read that he was kind of a bit reticent about doing another kind of thing like this because Star Wars.
This is different though.
He'd done X-Men as well.
He played Apocalypse.
Yeah, and he was kind of humming and hawing about doing it. But this is a major success. I think if it all goes, arse over end kind of thing after 2 episodes, I'd be quite surprised. But these 2 episodes are perfect. They're absolute perfection.
Well, Jason, they hired intellectual professionals to ensure all the references are correct. They get them slightly wrong, which implies that there's bits in it where it implies that Stephen isn't as big an Egyptologist as he thinks he is. And that's what I like as well, is there's little bits that are slightly wrong, because there's a bit with the Pantheon and he gets that wrong.
Yeah. Well, see the fact that the fight scene in the toilet, and then when the security guy watches it back with him, who's great, by the way. I think the security guy's great.
I know.
I don't know who he is, but and they watch it back, and it's just
he's perfect.
It's just him in the video, the CCTV video.
Yeah.
So you think to yourself, how much of this is actually in his mind?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Is it going to be a kind of big flip?
Yeah. There's another thing as well with the security guard. The security guard keeps on calling him Scotty.
Yeah.
And I think there's a reason for that. I think that's another personality.
Is there somebody else in there?
Because I think the end of the third episode, where you see Stephen trapped in the mirror, sitting on the bed, then it pans around, and then there's another. I'll get to that in just a sec. Oscar Isaac is sitting there beside the bed, and he's drinking whiskey or whatever it is. I think that's Scotty.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
And And I love
first autistic superhero, apparently.
Oh, really?
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, I mean, I've not heard that official, but I've definitely heard people talk about it on the internets.
Aye, is that just the kind of the thoughts of
I think it's the thoughts.
fans?
It's not official, but I don't know where DID lands on if it is an autistic trait. But his whole Stephen persona, the everything he does and the way he acts certainly seems to fit.
Well, he's got the obsessive factor about Egyptian mythology and things like that. I suppose
it'd be interesting for someone at Marvel to say, "Yeah, that is true."
Yeah,
feels that way.
I tell you what, as well, Ethan Hawke for me is nailing it as well. I think he's terrific. See the opening scene when he's breaking the glass up and then put it in his shoes, and and then he's walking. Every step he makes, he's got that. He's got glass in his shoes while he's walking. There's some sort of what do you call that? What do you call that?
It's like the Opus Dei, self-flagellation.
Flagellation, yeah. But somebody had said you can still hear the when he walks in the second episode. I never noticed, but you can still hear the sort of the kind of crunch of the glass breaking in his shoes as he's walking.
You can still hear it. It's definitely got overtones of the Minority Report. Like
of course,
look at you across time, whether it's past or future. And you'll be judged on what you do in the future, even though you've not done it yet.
You've not done it.
Definitely overtones, Minority Report overtones. And I quite like. Did you guys? Gosh, forgive me if we've spoken about this before, but did you watch that film on Amazon Prime with? Oh, gosh, who's the Welsh guy? Hannibal Lecter. Can't think of his. Anthony Hopkins. It was called The Father.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love that film.
It's about dementia and how everything is from his perspective. So he'll be in his bedroom and he'll expect his daughter to come in, but a stranger will come in. But it's from his perspective. He's never seen this person before. But we are with him. We're thinking also, who's that person? We've never seen it. And they're opening the curtains and feeding him his tomato soup, and we're as confused as he is. So there's elements, when he passes out and he becomes Mark, as opposed to Stephen. And then we don't see the Mark stuff, especially in the first episode. We see him fall asleep as Stephen and wake up as Stephen, surrounded by dead bodies. So it's interesting to see the story from his specific.
It's brilliant
with him on that journey.
Yeah, it's brilliantly done.
It's when what's she called again? Character's name again. Sorry, Layla says to him, "Suit up." And he puts on a suit. he becomes Moon Knight, but it's a suit because he's going I thought this is what you meant.
Where's that pop figure? Where's that Funko Pop?
Yeah, I know exactly.
See that moment. See that moment there when he. That's the second episode when he stands up and he grabs onto like a car fender, right? Right, and it crushes, and he realizes he's got some strength. I was reading, and this is not from me, by the way. This is from somebody I'd heard in a podcast, and that moment, instead of going, "Oh, some 5-minute thing where, I can do this, I can do that," that moment of him just standing up and crushing a car fender, you realize he's got some strength here instead of having some sort of 5-minute. Oh, I'm strong, I can punch things and blah, blah, blah. They did it really quick, really.
Message really to George Lucas, show, don't tell.
Show, don't tell, exactly that.
Cinema's a visual medium.
Exactly, show, don't tell. Yeah, 100%. That was exactly it. Yeah. That's the point.
Magic. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
The chase across the rooftop with the jackal as well.
Aye,
it was great. That's the first time you see the Disney Plus leap.
Aye.
I want the action figures. I want the T-shirts. I want the coffee mug, even though I don't want coffee.
I want everything.
All the Moon Knight things.
Me too.
I'm assuming they're going to sell hoodies at some point.
Oh, the hoodies with the pointy bit.
The pointy bit.
Yeah.
And with a wee kind of COVID mask. You'll be all right. You'll be sorted.
Easy.
Have you seen the wee kid that's dressed up as Moon Knight and he approaches Oscar Isaac at the
No, it's not. It's Paul. It's Paul Feig. Not Paul Feig.
Paul Feig, I doubt it. If he gets anywhere near the MCU, I'm leaving.
What would you call him then? What do you call the guy?
Kevin Feige.
Kevin
Feige, sorry.
Was it Kevin Feige?
Yeah, it's him. I'm sure it is. Aye. But that's a cool wee costume, though.
Yeah. Because he's got the glowing eyes and everything.
Fan-made.
Must be, yeah.
But it's brilliant.
His dad probably made it for him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where's mum?
Yeah, cool.
Somebody made it. Parent, Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Granty.
What is Gran?
His Gran. Could be his Gran.
Mm-hmm. Could be empty.
You're putting all those bandages together. I do like the suit. I think it's very apt. To like the kind of crow motif for the pointy bit of the because it's the conchu.
Yeah. And I think the end of the second episode, when it ends up in Egypt, you're like, whoa. It's like, where the hell is this thing going? Like, this is just.
I don't care.
I love that. I love the fact it's not a predictable thing as well. Marvel have been really good at doing things like that. It's not a predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking before about the cub. The wolf and the cub type thing. Which is kind of, we've seen it before. This is not predictable stuff. So
no.
This is also fitting in quite nicely with the sort of three parts to a movie. You get the first act, second act, third act.
Yeah.
This is the perfect when he pulls the curtains and it's the pyramids. That's the end of the first act.
Yes.
And it's perfect. It's like this feels like this is well paced. This doesn't feel like it's dragging its heels.
Yeah.
I remember it's in the first episode that we watched. I was like, God, that was a quick 20 minutes. And it's like, no, that was an hour. I was like, holy crap.
Therefore.
Yeah. Really just amazing.
Bring it on.
I love that whole reveal. And I was like, that's how you end the first act.
So episode really 4 is meant to be an absolute belter. Like meant to be like oh my gosh, episode 4. It's meant to be a thing. All the interviews I've heard, it's just that is meant to be a thing.
Yeah, so. The press have had 4 episodes apparently.
4 episodes, aye.
Yeah, yeah, they've had 4 episodes released to them.
We're not press, obviously.
No, we're not.
Not yet. Not from a Jedi. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
What?
A Jedi.
Oh,
nice.
Well,
you've got a bloody bell.
I know.
A bell.
Just do a search for call bell. I get mine from Staples for like $3.
No, just an app. Just an app.
It doesn't work because you got to turn the phone on and it's a faff.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
You want a nice physical call bell like that. Yeah. There you go.
That's much better. Mine's is a bit rubbish. Listen.
That's all right. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a call bell. It's a different
all right
to this one. But it's fine, it works.
I'll never use it again. No, I just
please don't. It's fine. No, use it anytime you want.
Please do.
Anytime you get a point to make, ding it, or you've made a point. I should say. I was taken aback by it. I was like, oh, he's got a bell.
Oh.
I was like, oh,
secretly raging. Slow, aren't you?
What's that?
Secretly.
No, I think we should all have one when we do funnies. We should all go because it saves me doing it because I'm usually not fast enough. Oh, he's got one.
Oh,
it's a bit loud.
Isn't the internet amazing?
Jody, that sounds that you should have said, "Bring out the knife."
Although I do also have this. Excuse me.
Do you have crickets as well?
Get down, get down, get down.
Oh,
what was that?
A tree.
Oh, that's a nice one. Anyway,
moving along. So Moon Knight.
Well, I think we're totally enjoying it. Yeah, 2 thumbs up.
Yep, 2 thumbs way up. So the 3rd episode is this Wednesday. Tuesday though, are we doing?
Yes, we will be doing it.
Oh, Tuesday. Listen,
Boba Fett.
We owe you guys.
We're going to finally do the finale of Boba Fett. I'm going to put it in the diary and post it up onto Facebook and see if it... put up the flagpole and see if anyone salutes and all that kind of stuff. So we'll do that. But yeah, I think that's us for today.
It's been special.
Yeah, well, of course, just as I'm doing the outro, the phone goes.
Lucasfilm.
Oh no, that's
Warner Brothers. You probably violated Warner Brothers.
All right, who mentioned the Batman?
Yeah, they don't like us.
We don't talk about the Batman.
No.
If you got this far and you want time reminders when we put new videos up, please hit the subscribe button, notification bell. And don't forget, if you like this, please hit the old like and share buttons onto social medias. We really do appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who has commented. I've got 2 last comments here. So one from Sharon, just got around to watching Boba. It's amazing.
Oh,
so
wow.
Tuesday, we'll be doing the watch along. So if you want to join us for that.
See you in the key store.
And James has said Will Smith. Oh, yeah, that's why. It's Will Smith's lawyers. That'll be the reason why. That'll be the reason. So thank you, everyone, for watching. And I'll get the outro video in a second.
Queued up.
We will catch you on Tuesday at 10 p.m. British time, 5 p.m. EDT. And we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Cheers.